how to spot a spy in your survival group when the world has ended, and more importantly, why it'll save your skin. The radios stopped screaming 3 weeks ago. The cities are tombs with streetlights. Your group of 12 has dwindled to 9. 2 got lost on patrol, 1 got bit. But here's the thing nobody wants to say around the fire. People don't just vanish. People get vanished. And somewhere between the guy who volunteers for every water run and the woman who sleeps with one eye open, there's a rat. Maybe 2. Maybe you. No worries, we're hunting infiltrators. Welcome to applied paranoia, the only science that keeps you breathing when the world's already stopped. First, understand the enemy, because they're not who you think. A spy in the apocalypse isn't some sleek operative in tactical black. That's Hollywood. That's dead. Real infiltrators in a collapsed world are worse. They're hungry. They're scared. They're working for a raiders clan 3 valleys over that promised them a hot meal and a bed in exchange for your ammo count, your patrol schedule, and the location of your water cache. They're not James Bond. They're Greg, and Greg smiles a lot. The science here is simple and brutal. Human behavior under stress leaks. The brain is a sloppy machine. It can fake a smile, fake a story, fake a name, but it cannot fake the small, involuntary stuff, the micro-expressions, the breathing patterns, the way the eyes dart when someone mentions the armory. That's where you hunt, not in what they say, in what their nervous system betrays. So let's get gritty. Method 1, the question loop. Start by asking everyone in your group the same 3 questions, spaced out over days. Where were you when it started? Who did you lose? What did you do for work before? Innocent stuff, the kind you'd ask around a campfire. Now here's the catch. Write down the answers. Yes, like a creep, because liars have a problem. Their truth is rehearsed, but it's not lived. A real survivor will tell you the same story 3 different ways across 3 different nights, because memory is messy and emotional. A liar tells it the same way every time, word for word, like they studied it. Because they did. If Greg's "I was a plumber from Tucson" sounds like a Wikipedia entry every time, congrats, you found something. Or Greg's just autistic. Investigate further before you do anything stupid. Method 2, the resource trap. This one's dirty, and I love it. Plant fake information. Tell one person, only one, that you've got a hidden stash of antibiotics buried under the 3rd pine tree past the creek. Tell another person you've got it under the collapsed barn. Tell a third you buried it in the gas station out east. Then you wait, you watch, you sleep with a knife. If raiders show up at the 3rd pine tree at 3 a.m., you don't have a spy problem anymore. You have a target. The science is called controlled information leakage, and intelligence agencies have been doing it since before your grandfather learned to lie. It works because traitors can't help themselves. The information they steal is the only currency they have left. Don't actually bury antibiotics there. Bury something fun, like a bear trap, or nothing. Nothing's cheaper. Method 3, read the body, ignore the mouth. Here's where the real science kicks in. The human face has 43 muscles, and most of them are run by the limbic system, the lizard part of the brain that doesn't know how to lie. When someone hears a topic that scares them, the body reacts in 200 milliseconds, faster than thought, faster than the cover story can catch up. Watch for the freeze. You mention the raider camp out east, and someone's hand stops mid-motion for half a second. That's the lizard brain saying, "Oh no." Watch for the swallow. Sudden dry mouth means the sympathetic nervous system just kicked in. Watch for feet. Feet are the most honest part of the body, because nobody bothers to train them. Feet pointed at the door means the body wants to leave. Feet pointed at you during a casual chat means the body's calculating something. Maybe friendship, maybe a knife.
And the eyes. God, the eyes. Liars don't avoid eye contact. That myth got people killed. Trained liars overcompensate. They lock onto you like a hawk because they read somewhere that shifty eyes mean guilt. Real honesty is a comfortable wandering gaze. Suspicious is a stare that doesn't blink when it should. If someone's blinking less than 8 times a minute while telling you a story, their brain is working overtime. Cognitive load. They're constructing, not remembering. Congrats, you've got a candidate. Method 4. The volunteer paradox. Apocalypse logic: nobody wants to do anything. Everyone's exhausted. Everyone's hurt. Everyone's hoarding calories like dragons. So when someone keeps volunteering for the perimeter checks, for the supply runs, for the "I'll just go scout ahead alone real quick" missions, your alarm bells should be screaming. Helpful is good. Suspiciously available is a red flag the size of a bedsheet. Real survivors conserve energy. It's biology. The body in famine mode hoards every calorie like it's gold-plated. Someone burning through energy on optional tasks is either a saint, an idiot, or feeding intel to someone outside the wire. Two of those three options will get you killed. Cross-reference: does this person always come back from solo missions empty-handed but unscathed? Does their "I got chased off" story never include a single scratch? The wasteland leaves marks. No marks means no wasteland. Method 5. The sleep test. This one's psychological warfare, and it's beautiful. Wake your suspect up at 3 a.m. with an emergency drill. Raiders at the gate. Grab your gear. Go! Watch what they grab. A real group member grabs their weapon, their boots, their go bag, in that order, because that's what survival drilling burns into the spine. A spy grabs their phone or their notebook or some specific item that has nothing to do with fighting and everything to do with not losing their mission. They grab the thing they can't afford for you to find. The sleep-deprived brain has no filter. The prefrontal cortex, the part that runs your cover story, is the first thing to go offline at 3 a.m. What's left is pure instinct, and instinct doesn't lie. Instinct grabs what it loves. If Greg lunges for a small leather notebook before he grabs his rifle, you and Greg are going to have a long conversation, possibly the last one Greg ever has. Method 6. The network check. Spies need to communicate. That's not optional. A spy with no way to send information is just a weird guy. So your job is to find the channel. Search the perimeter, not the camp, the perimeter. Look for chalk marks on trees, ribbons tied to fences, rocks stacked in unusual patterns near the path they always patrol. These are dead drops, the analog spy's bread and butter. Look for paths worn into the grass that lead nowhere. Nobody walks to nowhere, unless they're meeting someone there. At night, watch for light. A flashlight blink at 2 a.m., even for 3 seconds, is a signal. The human eye can catch a candle flame from over a mile away in true darkness. That's not folklore, that's photon physics. There are no accidental lights in the wasteland. Every flicker has a purpose. If you see your friend Greg flashing a pen light at the tree line, Greg is not relieving himself. Greg is talking. Here's the dark truth they don't put in the prepper books. Most groups don't die from raiders or radiation or starvation. They die from trust, from the soft middle of the night when the person on watch was the person you should have been watching. The wasteland doesn't kill you. The guy passing the soup does. The science of catching a spy is just the science of being awake when everyone else is sleeping, literally and otherwise. Watch the patterns, trust the lizard brain, plant the bait, read the feet. And remember, paranoia in the apocalypse isn't a disorder, it's a feature. If you catch your spy, congrats, you bought your group another month. If you don't, congrats anyway, you won't be around to worry about it. The fire crackles. Greg smiles across the flames. He's got that look again. You smile back, and you start counting his blinks.